Hi and welcome to Digital General's playthrough of the Ultimate General Gettysburg's campaigns. So I played this game for quite a while when it came out and really enjoyed it, and then kind of put it aside after I was done with it. And then recently a whole bunch of patches came through, and so I thought this would be a really fun way to test out what the patches have done. Has the AI really gotten better, and generally speaking how it kind of plays now. And so I thought I'd play through the campaign again because I haven't done that in a while. And it's always fun to kind of go back and see if you can do better or worse than you did before. So for this playthrough, I'm going to go with the Confederate Campaign, and that's because it's the aggressive campaign, or side, they're on the attack, which just makes it a little bit more fun, it's more active, and it's also a lot more difficult. So I thought that this would be a really fun challenge, is to see if I can do better against the AI when you're attacking, which is kind of hard to do in this game or in this time period. For the AI difficulty, I'm going to go with a cunning AI, and that's because I want the highest difficulty, but not aggressive. And that's basically how I would think that General Meade kind of fought this battle. He was obviously really skilled as a tactician, but he wasn't overly aggressive, and I think that that's kind of a nice representation of how the federal side behaved. All right, with that being said, I think we're ready to go. Okay, let's take a minute to go over the briefing. So it's early morning, 1st of July, 1863. As Confederates, I start with a 2-to-1 numerical superiority, and then the numbers kind of even up with both sides having essentially the same amount of troops. So obviously I have to be aggressive and take advantage of this kind of surprise that happens where the Confederate army shows up and runs into the Federal scouting cavalry. So let's just review the army details. So on my side, I've got my 3rd Corps coming in with a couple of brigades up initially, and then some extra artillery, and a couple more brigades showing up later on. So it's basically it'll be, I think, about 8 or 9 brigades in total. And obviously on the Federal side, or the Union side, they will end up with about a whole bunch of brigades as well, 8, and a ton of artillery. So this is where we know that we have to be careful, because the Union artillery in this game is very effective, kind of as it should be, which does mean that I have to not run into their cannons and get slaughtered. All right, so the way I want to play this generally is to kind of look at the tactical situation and not be too reactive, because I think the one thing that this game does so well is that it has a nice pace that's a little bit more leisurely, where you're looking at bigger decisions and not really worrying about micros so much. So let's get the mountains going, just so we can know what the different elevations are, because they're so important. All right, so big picture. Gettysburg is here. Our scouting party that was basically scouting in force is coming down this road, and the rest of the army is, the rest of the army is there somewhere on this side of the map, slowly following. There are a couple of brigades circling in from the north, and they'll show up eventually, so we know that that's going to happen. We have to take these 3 points, and initially we can see that the defenders are outnumbered, and there's basically just dismounted cavalry, so there's a bunch of skirmishers under Buford. So that's nothing to be too worried about at this point, but massive infantry brigades will be pouring in from the south. So this point is going to be very difficult to take unless we can rush there, and there's quite a long distance to cover, so I don't think I can make it. But the key to this is turning the flank. So we know that the Federal or the Union army is basically below me here. My army is here, and so I can take advantage of this idea that I can come in straight and eventually from the top. So why don't we aim for that? So initial orders, let's just kick this off with basically an easy advance and assault, and let's take McPherson's. that's where we'll stage our assault and hopefully pin the enemy. Now the skirmishers, I do need to know what's going on below, so let's get them here, put them on this ridge, and this way they can basically take a look and observe the forces arriving, so I won't be surprised. And guns just need to move up, so let's just get them up, support the assault, including this one as well. And there we go, let's kick it off. Oh, and of course the Ambrose Hill as well. Let's get the commander to support his troops as they advance. So the one thing that's kind of funny about this game that it's not terribly realistic, that the commanders are basically impervious to enemy fire. So, you know, I can push him up here and nothing's going to happen to him, really. But, yeah, he would have been dead at this point, which... So obviously he wouldn't do this. That's a little bit gamey, but that's okay. Davis, go attack. You guys take them. So he can actually maybe support this attack a little bit. I just want to put some flying fire into these forces here just to annoy them basically and make them run. Yeah, this is fine. Okay, so it looks like the Union Army is basically pulling back, which is wise. So let's keep going. Now these guys are starting to show that they're flashing. Their morale is actually really high, and same with their condition. So I think this is just being worried at about the artillery fire. Keep our commander in check. And okay, so yeah, they've pulled back. Now our skirmishers can go back to the mission they had before, which is basically scouting. Okay, and I want to take out this artillery before they can mount a proper defense here. So hopefully I can actually break this artillery. I don't know what's going on there. Let's get the commander and let's get our artillery on this ridge, because that's going to be key. We need to be able to... Yeah, I don't know what's going on. This is really funny. They're like running back and forth, and this artillery is just not taking any losses. So odd, but alright, let's just maybe arrange them into a fighting formation and let's get on the ridge. And so now I want to pin these forces here and basically regroup. So Archer is taking okay, now he's been broken. I guess fighting those 50 artillery guys pushing their pieces was just too much. That was very odd. I don't know what happened there. Hopefully he'll rally. Make sure my commander is following him. Alright, these guys are taking fire, so let's push them back on the hill a little bit. And make sure that they don't just get chewed up by the artillery before more forces show up to support me. This cannon, yeah, let's get it on the ridge as well. Okay, let's push these guys back. I don't want to get them chewed up. Okay, so yeah, the Union is now reinforcing. We can see First Corps showing up finally. With Reynolds here, that's going to be really problematic because this is a big force. So at this point, I need to basically bide my time and wait for the reinforcements. Oh, it looks like Archer is back. All right, Archer, let's get you back on this hill because that was weird. That this cannon is still alive. these skirmishers should hopefully break from my regular brigade, which is doing very well with high morale. And yeah, let's get these guys here. So the AI is rushing their brigades onto this hill, which is fine. That's kind of, I can't really stop them. I just don't have the forces on the ground right now to do that yet, so that's okay. Let's let them come and take a whole bunch of fire coming in. That's basically all I can go for at this point. Let's get this cannon firing here. Maybe some canister shots. Get those skirmishers running. There we go. That taught him a lesson. Let's put this cannon out here so it can keep firing. So with Archer, basically now, because he's been really depleted, I mean, he's at, what is that, almost like a quarter, no, a third of his forces lost. I need him to just stay here, defend this hill, and protect my cavalry. Oh, good, so we have now reinforcements coming in. So this is my main punching force, I think, showing up now. This is the rest of the Third Corps kind of responding to the battle, and this is how the engagement escalates and slowly becomes the big battle. So Davis is fine. I want to hold him here. Archer, get back and hold, and Heath, maybe annoy these guys a little bit, so these Campbell skirmishers don't get too comfortable just sitting there. Archer can also lend some supporting fire. Just keep it on auto. Good, okay, so let's take a moment to plan our strategy. So I have two brigades, Pettigrew and Brockenbrough coming in. They're both good, 2-star, so very solid. And as I said, I want to kind of come here and swing down this way, because punching through here is going to be a nightmare up this very defensible slope that he can just pour all this infantry into. Whereas if I can pin him with Davis and this artillery and maybe turn the flank, that might work. So let's do that. Let's get these guys here, and when they start forming up, yeah, then we can figure out how to proceed from then on. Yes, we do need his support indeed. All right, these guys are okay. See, so this is actually working quite well, because they did break, but this whole skirmisher unit is being fired upon by Archer, and is also suffering morale damage, which is important. Let's see if I can target the Iron Brigade a little bit. So the Iron Brigade is obviously the famous brigade that would counterattack and push these push back the Confederate forces, this pike. But let's see if I can actually maybe whittle them down a little bit with artillery fire. Yeah, there we go. Take those skirmishers out, and my skirmishers. Okay, great. So now a lot more showed up. So I need Lane is going to support my middle, and I really want to double down on this attack. So let's do that. Let's do a full flank fire, or flank maneuver. How's Davis doing? Davis is fine. Is super moraled up. He is in command. Where you see there's my commander. My skirmishers are weak. That's okay. I just need them to be here observing. That's cool. And let's get this guy. Let's get Hill supporting this kind of a flanking attack. Oh, Yankees are bringing in more guns, of course they are, and a lot more men. So this is that grinder that I just didn't want to get involved in because of the forested hill. But here, hopefully, we can do some serious damage. Oh, Archer, aren't you firing? Go engage them. You're fine. Oh, more artillery. That's great. Good news as well. Yeah, perfect. So the skirmishers engaging with regulars and getting flank shot as well by my skirmishers, and this way, yeah, you can see that they're starting to waver a little bit. So that's huge. One of the key things at this early stage in the battle, because it's 10 a.m. on the first day, I mean, I know I have a lot more fighting to do, so I don't want to just meat grinder my forces and he's pulled back. Just provide cover. Yeah, let's hold. Yeah, I don't want to meat grinder my troops and have nothing to fight. Yeah, let's maybe pull you out of the cannon, and then have nothing to fight the rest of the battle with, because that's obviously terrible. So okay, good. So we're starting to get close, so let's form up on this hill. So these guys, Breckenrow, you can just open up here, Perrin, and let's create a nice solid line of attack. Oh, there's that gun. Yeah, let's put him on the hill here. And this artillery, yeah, maybe here at the riverbed, just to provide some sort of artillery fire. Yeah, my skirmishers are basically almost broken again, but that's fine. They're somewhat in cover now, so they can recover their morale. And okay, we still have lots of time. That's good. Our line is starting to form. Davis is doing well. How's my artillery for kills? Not too good, I guess. Yeah, this guy isn't doing much at all. Alright, let's do some shelling, guys. Alright, these massive brigades are marching up, and they're really shoring up these two hills. So it's going to be difficult to dislodge the enemy from them, but I do think that if I can flank him, pin him and flank him, I can have a really nice chance. So I'm just going to wait for my troops to get in position and basically have at it. See if I can do some damage to Baxter before he gets himself deployed. Alright, Pettigrew, let's do this. You come across actually to behind, and let's see if we can actually wrap this whole line up. Yeah, these guys are in deep cover. It's fine. I'm not worried about the cannon fire they're getting. Yeah, we're winning at Oak Hill. Of course, we are. There aren't any Union forces there, so that's not a problem. So how are we looking? It's still early morning, or I guess, sorry, late morning, before noon, and I think all of my forces are actually now committed. I don't think there's anything else that I can expect. And so now it's time to make our move. Alright, so Perrin as well, move in. Actually, Brockenbrough has a better cohesion, so we get Perrin in here. Brockenbrough can start making his concentrated fire, and let's charge with Pettigrew. There's no artillery here, there's just skirmishers. I think I have a really good chance of basically doing a short range charge and breaking through. Maybe even breaking through for Baxter as well. Yeah, he's starting to take serious losses. And you guys come in and... Whoa! Yeah, Pettigrew is getting chewed up in this melee, but that's how it goes. Okay, I need my commander here to support. And, okay, he's really high. Let's follow it up. Second wave of attackers, Pettigrew, just form up and start pouring in flanking fire. The rest of the Union armies basically protecting these key points, which is sensible. They're starting to form, trying to form their L, but they just don't have the depth. So I think I can do this if I can come in. All right, Baxter, breaking there, buddy. You know you want to. Come on. Got my commander in here. Scales. Pettigrew. Okay, Pettigrew needs to recover a little bit. And Beckenbrough is still doing okay. He's taking losses, but he's okay. And yes, Baxter is broken. Perfect. Okay, so now I can basically pull him back a little bit. Move up this cannon. And start forming this line. And the nice thing is Davis is fully engaged here. He can... sorry, he's ready. He's fully conditioned, so troops are in a good state. Brackenborough, yeah, did get chewed up, and he is routing, but that's okay. He'll hopefully recover right behind my lines. And I want to form up this. Let's just keep pouring artillery into Paul. Alright, Pettigrew, you just sit there and recover. Perrin, you attack. Scales, you also attack. Let's do this. And let's move Davis up. Let's do a triple 3-on-1 brigade concentrated attack. Now Iron Brigade is just sitting there taking fire, which is fine. That's perfect. Here we're sitting covered. That's perfect. And so I'm basically really trying hard not to let Union form up this line and build up some defenses here. I want to punch through. Alright, great. Breckenborough is recovering. He lost half his strength, so this brigade is basically done. I don't think I can do much more with them. They can just sit here and recover. Perfectly happy to let them do that. Let's see if we can canister these guys. Okay, so we're a little bit too far, so let's just move them up a little bit and... So you can see that he's turning his flank a little bit. So let's get Davis up into firing range and make sure that he can support. So actually, yeah, maybe I want this guy on the hill because he can maybe still provide some support. Breckenborough, even though he's okay. Scales, you guys move up. Pettigrew, you need to recover, and Perrin, move up, move up, move up, move up. No, yeah, pushed the cannon too far forward. That was a mistake. Alright, the Iron Brigade is on the move, so I need to engage it. With whatever I have. So let's push up lane just to threaten this part, because I don't want the AI to get too complacent and basically do a massive counterattack, so let's annoy them. Oh, I have more cannons. Sweet. Okay, yeah, you guys get up on the ridge. And we have our meat grinder, so this is not good because I think I don't have the forces to really do this properly. You know what? Maybe this is the time. Let's just get everyone in there. Pettigrew, you move up into supporting fire. And the Iron Brigade is coming at us, so hold. Everyone, just hold. And let's go to canister. This is that famous countercharge, almost playing out exactly how it did, and I'm hoping to chew them up just like they were, because I don't want them coming back to hunt me later on in the scenario, or let's call it in the battle, just to be more clear. All right, what are we doing here? This guy has no condition. This guy has some condition. Let's push him up. He's routing. That's fine. He'll recover. You just keep firing. Above 1,000, but it is an meat grinder, so Scales is routing, Davis is routing. All right, my commander needs to make sure I support. Biddle's broken. Excellent, excellent. So that part's done. Now we just need to make sure the Iron Brigade also breaks. Oh, Archer's done. So it's just up to lane now. Alright, let's throw them in. 1,500 men. Let's get them into the Iron Brigade. So this attack fell apart. Oh, my commander broke actually. I guess that is possible. A little bit, but I did take the hill. So let's see if I can hold here. Perrin. Nope, he broke. Pettigrew is also breaking, so okay, that's fine. Let's pull back. Let's just reestablish a line and see if we can hold. Get guys back onto the McPherson's. I don't want to lose McPherson's. That would be rather devastating. Alright. Where's my commander? I need him back. Iron Brigade is broken. Good. And they're under 1,000. That's excellent. So let's put these guys back. Let's put the lane back in the forest on hold. And... oh, my commander's back. Yeah, let's get him into the game. Artillery back, it's just going to get routed, otherwise there's no point. Okay, Pettigrew, you have no condition. Perrin, you're starting to. Let's push you up so that you'll be available later. Davis, you have no morale, but let's push you up so you can recover. And Perrin, let's just make you contest this hill. There's only a little bit of cavalry. And commander's coming in. Good. Here as well. Put my guns on auto. Yeah, lane's almost broken as well, but he's still holding. Alright, Pettigrew, you've got to hold. I think we can take this ridge and hold it. Decent cover, no condition, or no condition, so the troops are kind of disorganized and not really in it, but no, what are you doing? What are you doing? Wrong guy, wrong guy. Pettigrew, hold. Okay, I do want to keep this nice arc. Keep not letting the Union side fight me front on. Alright, the skirmishers. Okay, well, you know what? Let's just get them out here. They're kind of demoralized, but I can maybe skirmish and protect myself from this little tiny force. This kind of cannon, let's just get it. Oh no, it's broken. Too late. And Brockenbro, same thing, just push him up. Archer is broken. That's fine. He can sit there. Yeah, I'm really meat grinding these people and these guys. So this is exactly what I wanted not to do. And I guess I'm doing it. It's difficult to have that discipline, I guess. So you hold. Yeah, let's just canister this crap out of Cutler. Okay, Pettigrew is recovering a little bit. Good. Cutler is basically disorganized and pulling back. Excellent. And this cannonade is deadly. So Pettigrew, keep digging in. Alright, so I think we have a nice lull in this. So there was a massive action here fighting for the hill. As you can see, all of the casualties. I mean, this is one of those would become legendary spots. Okay, Cutler's pushing again. That's fantastic. Okay, let's keep chewing him up. This is great. I want to maximize the casualties I inflict as well, because I did pay quite the heavy price. Oh, he's broken. Fantastic. I did pay quite the heavy price for this attack. So, where's my commander? Yeah, I have 5,000 lost to 4,000 killed. So I'm now at 1,500, basically, 1,400 behind in casualties, which is not good for the Confederate side, but I mean, that's what happens when you're attacking. So, oh, there he is. Come on, let's just stop and recover. So I think now that I've seized these 2 points, I'm happy to not try to meat grinder this 3rd point and do that when we have more of our forces available. So at this point, I'm kind of happy just essentially running up the clock and doing what I can to do a bit more in casualties. Let's maybe get this cannon up there. Just better vantage points. Pettigrew's just not able to really dig in and recover his condition. Morale's doing okay, but the condition is horrible because he's under constant fire. Alright, and we've finished. So minor victory, that's basically what it felt like. I think that's fairly good description. So let's see, Union losses 43, Confederate 55, so I made up a little bit of that difference. I think it's 1,200 people difference in casualties, which is not terrible. That's okay. Could have been much worse. So let's look at all right, losses. So yeah, the top losing brigades are Confederates because we attacked, so that makes sense. So let's see. So Davis has been cut in half. Next up, Parents in half. Yeah, Brockenbro is basically 2/3 gone, so that brigade is not going to be doing much. Archer as well. So 2 brigades that are basically out of battle. They'll be shadows of their former selves, and 2 brigades that are still fighting condition but very, very beat up. On the Union side, they have smaller brigades. So let's see. Paul is still in combat. Cutler has been cut up but is still there. Oh, okay, Iron Brigade, that's fantastic. So Iron Brigade has been really decimated. That's good news. because I do want them to be not bothering me again in the second day as the fighting continues. All right, well, hope you enjoyed this this battle, and let's see how it goes next. What happens?